one and make it two. That leaves an open wound. Now, men will say, it didn't bother me. You're wounded whether you feel it or not. Let me ask you something. Have you ever realized you were bleeding and didn't even know you got cut? What's going on here? When did I do that? Ever get a bruise and don't know how you got it? Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean you're not hurt. Okay, then you get out of that relationship and get into another. So you know what you've done? You become one with another person. And so everyone that you got involved with, you become one with. And you wonder why everybody is crazy now. Everybody crazy because they got about 800 people living inside of them. But what do you mean by that? 800, I only been with 10. Yes, you were with 10, but that first one you were with was with 2 people. And those 2 people had been with several people. And so all of those people are living in you now. Not to mention the fact, okay, I won't mention that fact. So we have already messed up the order of God. Well, Pastor, what do I do to get this right, to fix this? If any man be in Christ, he is, that's your only out, to be in Christ. When you get in Christ, he says, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Notice he didn't say, if any man be a member of the church. Because you can be a member of the church and still be messed up as you were before you came to the church. Let's move on. This passage in Genesis shows us that intimacy was God's ideas. And therefore it is not sinful when it is in the bound of marriage, in the bounds of marriage. And intimacy came before the fall. Notice this was before Satan even tempted them. Okay? If the fall had not taken place, there would still have been intimacy between husband and wife. The 3 reasons God gave mankind intimacy. Number 1, to propagate the human species. Okay? In Genesis 1:27, he says this. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, what? Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Now what is he talking about? Filling it with water? Filling it with birds, candles, and incense? No, people. So number 1 reason God did this, it brings this intimacy, is so that we can fill the earth. Just imagine if everybody said, we don't want any children. What would happen? Well, eventually humankind would cease to exist. Number 2, it promotes love between husband and wife. Intimacy does. It promotes love between husband and wife. Intimacy between each other is supposed to help you overcome issues. Help you deal with life. Help you when you go out there and all them fine women on your job. You got somebody already at home that you can express all of those feelings with. But my wife ain't fine as the women at my job. That's too bad. Get over it. Believe me, once you have intimacy, you don't even be thinking about that anymore. Get over it. It's always going to be somebody more beautiful than your husband or your wife. Stay in the plan of God and let God promote love between you two. And you know what? When there's love, it don't matter how she or he looks. Because here's the thing, Val, beauty is only skin deep. I'm talking about superficial beauty. But real beauty comes from the inside and shines outward. We're in a culture where we caught up on how somebody looks. I don't want him, he's too short and fat. Yeah, but is he a good provider? That's what you better be thinking about. I want want somebody tall, good looking. You better get somebody who's going to hold down the business when you in. I want them blue eyes. You better take brown eyes, green eyes. You better take whatever. You better take whatever God said. Quit looking at how the person looks on the outside and find out what's on the inside of the individual. Because the outside eventually, I promise you, is going to change. I was with my mother-in-law last night. I remember my mother-in-law when she was much younger. Strong, tough woman. Better not cross her. Give you a piece of her mind. And she had a lot of pieces there. Okay? Okay? Beautiful woman, nice legs. I remember her leg.